welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We are going to be heading back to the land of Robinson Crusoe for our fun and games today. Yeah, actually, I've been playing a ton of this world of mine lately. It's a game I picked up a few weeks back. Really find it just really compelling. For those who don't know, this world of mine is a game that puts you. Um, uh, you're kind of the someone who's looking to help guide refugees. I guess refugees or people that are stuck in like a war-torn city, just trying to help guide them through until a ceasefire where they can survive the war that's just ravaged their city. It is the flavor text in that game is very heavy. It is very sad. Um, it is a very thought-provoking game, a game that puts you in the middle of a lot of really intense moral conundrums in a way that most games can't. And when one of your characters dies in that game, it is not like in other games. Um, so it's not for everybody. I have found it so compelling and so well done. Really finely tuned, very interesting, different ways you can play it. A little sandboxy in that sense. Um, but it has some similar mechanics to Robinson Crusoe. So while I've been playing that, it's really made me want to get the dust off this box that it started to accumulate and get another game of this under my belt for this channel. So remember our last time we played Robinson Crusoe, I believe we were in the Castaway scenario, which is scenario 1, and got whipped in our attempts to survive castaways with the cook. So now we are going to go to the Cursed Island, which is scenario 2. Scenario 2, you were part of an exorcism expedition, but during a dreadful storm, your ship was sunk. You crawl upon the cursed island you are meant to land on. You are in a bad way, with no hope of calling for help, but you must still accomplish your mission, the exorcism. Dun, dun, dun. All right, goal of the scenario: build a cross on 5 different island tiles. The crosses, I don't know why it's purple here, but they're really the baby blue wooden discs. To build a cross, you will spend 2 wood. You will do a build action. If you succeed, you will build a cross on your lands. What's making that exceptionally hard is fog. So this deck is already made up. There are 10 cards because there are 10 levels or 10 rounds. So these are randomly, I randomly chose 5 of the cards with the book icon in the middle and 5 of the cards with the adventure symbols of the various colors, and they are now mixed together in some random order. So, but whenever you reveal a book, you will have to put a fog token, so one of the white wooden discs, on 2 of the different lands. Now, fog basically serves 2 functions. One, if that's where your camp is, you get no production. So that's rough. 2, it serves as a -1 worker token. So again, if you put 2 tokens on there, you still have to roll. You have to have at least 2 tokens, or 2 pawns, I should say, to actually try to do an action on that tile. So build actions at your camp would take at least 2 tokens, and 2 pawns, and you still have to roll. So fog is really disruptive to your ability to win this scenario, and finding a way to control it is really important. Now, to that end, what you want to do is you need to find grasslands to build a rope, and then find hills. And if you have access to hills and you have the rope, you can ring a sacred bell, which will reverberate through the hillsides to remove up to 3 fog tokens. So there are also things that happen with the various the totem symbols that come up on the island tiles, and we will kind of explain that as it goes. So we're going to put this on the round 1. We shuffled the island tiles pretty thoroughly already. I need to shuffle out. We have the 9 starting items that you always put out, the ones with the little triangles on it. And we're going to put 5 more out randomly. And we have the furnace. We have the wall. So if you have brick, both of those could be helpful. The cellar, belts, and drums. Don't really love any of those. And then finally, we do need to get our starting equipment. I will use a randomizer, and we have the flask of rum and the empty bottle. Alright, so the empty bottle isn't bad, and the flask of rum. Both of those could definitely be helpful. The empty bottle, we can spend one of the uses to raise our, and you have two uses of each of these things. So one of the uses for each use of the empty bottle, you can raise the weapon level by 1, and the flask of rum you can use to do a point of healing during the night phase, which is really huge because this scenario especially has a way to give you lots of damage. So let's get started. So we have our round order. So we have the event phase that is skipped in the first round. All right. So we're gonna go to the morale phase. The morale is at 0, so we're good there. And then we're gonna go to the production phase. We start on the beach, which is why the shovel, since beach is considered explored, we have access to the ability to build the shovel. But our production, we will get a wood because the beach is a source of wood, and we will get a perishable food because the beach is a source of food. All right, specifically fish. So now we're going to go to the action phase. So first we need to plan our actions. Again, this is a solo game, so we have access to the 2 pawns from the character we've chosen, which is the explorer. And additionally, we have Friday, who can serve as another player. He could also be as a support pawn for a action in which we are the resolving player. And additionally, we have the dog, which can only be a support pawn and only for explore or hunt actions. The 4 special abilities of the explorer. 1 is lucky. You can discard 2 determination tokens to re-roll any green die. 2 is recognizance. Finally, back to the wild again. We can discard 2 determination tokens to draw 3 island tiles from the stack. Look at them, choose the one you want, shuffle the other 2 back in, and then place the chosen one on top of the stack. That can be very important, especially as you're trying to find first grasslands for the rope, and then try to find the hills to be able to ring the sacred bell. The motivational speech, don't worry, I've been through worse. We can discard 3 determination tokens to increase the morale level by 1 level. And then scouting, that place looks interesting. I'll have a look. We can discard 3 determination tokens to draw 2 discovery tokens, which I keep in this gray bag here. Keep 1 and discard the other. That is one I do not see myself ever using, discarding 3 determination tokens and hoping you get really lucky with one of the discovery tokens, and you're only drawing 2. I don't think is a really good idea, but obviously I've been wrong before. So let's get this party started. I am going to immediately, before I forget, spend 1 of my empty bottle charges to raise the weapon level to a 1 from a 0. Now, I'm going to try to protect Friday a bit because we definitely don't want him to be injured. So I'm going to put him here, and he's going to explore that area. And then with my other 2 tokens here, don't have a ton else I would want to do. So I am going to definitely explore once. And I will arrange camp to get myself some determination tokens. I think that makes some degree of sense. So we're now going to carry out our actions, which we have planned. We're going to take Friday. That's an auto success between Friday and the dog. And we take this island tile. We get access to grasslands. That was great. There is a source of food, a source of wood. We get 1 discovery token I pulled out of the bag. It's vegetables. If I can make the pot, I will get 2 health. Actually, that's a really terrible thing to pull. Oh man, this game's so hard. So now there's a totem symbol on there. So I'm going to cover the totem with the number 1 because you just go in sequential orders of how you see the totem. So with number 1, we're going to look at our chart on the Cursed Island scenario sheet, it says in a future round, you can take an Explorer action to draw 4 mystery cards and only resolve 3 treasures and 1 creature. You can take this action only once in a game. So maybe we'll do that. I find that it can be very dangerous to do. You know, with some familiarity with the treasure deck, if you have medicine, there's things that you want to have to really help lessen the potential badness of doing that. And some of the treasure cards, some of the treasure cards are not all that treasury, so we got to be really careful there. So look, I am now going to try to explore in this section with this pawn. So I'm going to roll the 3 green dice, and I got a success, a damage, and a adventure card. So I'm going to take the damage, and then I'm going to resolve the adventure card. During dangerous terrain, during your trip through the woods, you see a lot of predators. We're going to put the +1, or the little beast tile, to this like red tile with the skull. If the exploration was successful, then put this on. It was successful. So starting this round, each time a player wants to gather resources from this tile or explore this base, they get 1 damage unless the weapon level is at least a 1. So our weapon level is a 1, so we're not going to really have to worry about this, which is nice. And that does not get shuffled into the event deck, which is also nice. So we're going to put that out of play, and then we're going to, since this was a successful exploration, we'll take the island tile that we found. So it is a river tile. It has a beast, so we can take 1 of the beast from the beast deck and put it in the hunting deck. It has a source of food, and we get 3 determination tokens. So hopefully they are better than the crap I got in the grasslands. And we get herbs. If I build the pot, I get a morale token. We get 2 more coming. I guess I'm gonna have to build this pot. We get a fallen tree. That's good. Oh, these should be in the available resources. We got those in the production phase. And we get a sacrificial dagger. It temporarily gives us a +3 weapon level. A person using the dagger gets 1 damage and has multiple use. So it could be helpful and not likely to be in a solo game, but such is life. So this goes here. At the end of so we have 1 more action. We're going to do the arrange. Again, this goes left to right. So we didn't resolve an event. We didn't hunt. We didn't build. We didn't gather. We did 2 explore actions. And now we're going to do this last action of arrange and camp. I'm going to get 2 determination tokens, which can be very helpful. And we are going to raise the morale 1. All right, so all my actions are done. These will come down. When these come down, fallen trees have to be immediately discarded, and I will get a wood for that. The rest, I can't use either of these 2 yet because I don't have a pot, and I don't need the sacrificial dagger, so we will just leave that there, and we're good. We now go to the weather phase. There is no weather die rolled this turn, so we're good there. We go to the night phase. We do not have shelter, so we take... Oh, wait, sorry, we'll do first things first. Do we want to move our shelter? Yes, I'm going to move up here, so I have the option to explore here. I think that will work. Sure. So that's 1. Now we're going to we're going to eat. Since we don't have a shelter yet, we are going to take 1 damage for that. It's night phase though, so I'm going to use my flask of rum, my first use of that, to get that damage right back. We now go to the next round. So we are in round 2. And we pull the first event card. All right, it is not a book, which is nice. It does have a rain cloud that we have to put in the weather space. The rain wakes you up, and it seems it will rain the whole day. We're gonna put now this on the build deck. So when we do a build action, whether we roll or not, we are gonna have to resolve the top adventure card. The food crates card is gonna move over, and you get this. All right, that weather phase is that getting a rain cloud right off the bat is gonna be rough. So the event card is done. We now go to the morale phase. We're going to get 1 determination token. We're going to go to the production phase. I have both food and wood on my current island tile, so they will go into available resources. Yikes. Alright, I need to get lucky, and I also need to build the shelter. I have no furs. Alright, I am going to use my recognizance ability to see what my options are as far as the next island tiles coming up. Alright, I can get I think I want the hills. So I can do grasslands. I already access the grasslands, and that doesn't have access to food. It's just wood. So this is hills that has wood and food. Or I can get a temporary shelter. I can get a natural shelter in the mountains. But having the hills, I think, is going to be the most important thing right now. So I'm going to keep that one out. I'm going to shuffle these 2 back. And I'm going to put the hills on the top of the deck, which I think it might have been there to start, which is not great, but we wanted them known. So, all right, we're going to put that back there so we know that's going to come out if we explore. What I want to do is I definitely want to build the rope. So I'm going to assign one of my pawns there. Oh, so I can cover up the different terrains that I've explored. Right now I've explored both rivers and grasslands. So grassland, grassland, and then river, river. Might want to build that map, but I don't know. I build a map that I can build the shortcut, which could help give me access to the kind of things I'm going to need. I normally wouldn't go that route. Okay. So I want to build the rope, so I'm going to put at least one guy there. I do want to explore. I'm going to do this with the dog and do an auto success there. If I use Friday, I could do, I think I need to gather food with Friday, to be honest with you. Because that rain cloud's about to make my life bad. So I'm going to gather food with Friday. Alright, so we're going to go in order. So we're not resolving an event card. We're not doing a hunt action. We are doing a build action with the Explorer. Man, I am rolling really well. I mean, I'm succeeding all the time, but I'm getting a damage like every time I do anything. So that's not great. So I take a damage. I was going to have to resolve an adventure card anyway. and I succeed. So we successfully built the rope, and we're gonna put the rope in the future resources, and we will deal with that later. In the meantime, let's see what this adventure card is. Oh, all right. You have badly cut your hand. Of course I did. We are gonna put the brown a special wound token on me I turned Scottish for a second there. On my character's arm. Shuffle this into the event deck. All right. Whenever I shuffle, the colors kind of bug me sometimes. I wish I just made everything the same color, but they didn't. So what I do is I just do this for a little bit, and then I'll just count to 5 when I decide I'm going to stop, and then we'll see, where things fall. But all right, so we're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the brown card's on there. All right. That is what it is. So that was the first action. We're now going to go to the gather actions and hope like heck Friday succeeds. He does, and he takes a damage. So he only has 2 more cushion, and then he gone, which isn't great. But he gathered a food for us. Thank you, Friday. We love you. You're amazing. All right, so that goes over here, and then we're going to auto succeed with the dog. Now, wait for this wonderful piece of joy in this game. So we found the hills. It is a second totem, so we're going to put a number 2 on there. What happens when you get the second totem? Well, wait, I'll tell you. The Altar of Death. The player who explored this tile gets 2 wounds. Oh joy. All right. So we now have the hills, so we can ring the sacred bell if we need it, because we're going to have access to hills. And we have our rope, and we get a discovery token, which allows us to ignore 1 rain cloud. Oh, hello. Well, I didn't know I was going to get that. I wouldn't have bothered with Friday gathering food, but that's fine. We're actually going to need that. I'm going to hold on to that for later. That could come in handy later. All right, so that is all of my actions. We will bring all of these down into available resources. The rope is now built. We will put it here, and we're good. So we're gonna go to the weather phase. There is a rain cloud. Oh wait, do I want to move the camp? I do not. Do not. It's tempting, but I have other things I want to do next turn, so I'm going to leave it where it is right now. What are we doing? I should build a pot is what I should do. All right, we are going to go to the weather phase. So there is 1 rain cloud. So my roof is 0. So there's 1 more roof. I'm missing 1 roof level to take care of the rain. So I have to discard a wood and a food for each roof level missing. The weather phase is done, so I can take this token off of the weather space. Now we go to the night phase. I eat. I do not have shelter though, so I do take a damage. Yeesh. This lack of shelter is going to be rough. And I'm going to use my other flask of rum to heal a damage. Alright. Let's see if I can build that pot, I think. So we are good. We're going to come back to the event phase, and it's now round 3. So event phase, round 3, I pull. It is a book. So what happens with the book? So now I have to put 2. Now I have access to hills. I will cover the pot and the bricks. And the drums and the sacred bell. So with the book, what happens is we are going to, well, first I lose a morale for that, and then we have to put a fog token on 2 island tiles. So we're going to put it here and here. This comes down, it moves heavy clouds over as now the pending threat, and now food crates goes off the board. The resultant food kicks off the board is nothing, so we're good. So now, morale phase. Morale was up 1, but now because of this winter depression, you have no good clothes, no good shelter, and are tired, hungry, and cold. It's a bad, bad day. We are going to go to 0, which is fine. Now we are going to go to production phase. I'm going to get a wood and a food. They are currently available. I think I'm going to try to build the pot. I'm really just debating whether I'm exploring this thing. I don't have a shelter. I don't have. All right. I'm going to try to ring the bell. And I think I want to build that cross. I want to build them. All right. Let's just try to go big here. All right, we're going to try to build the pot. And we're going to try to build the cross. And we're going to try to do this all at once and try to get super lucky. Now remember, the build dice have the worst odds than the other dice. So in the build dice, there are you're only going to succeed 2/3 of the time doing what you want to do, and additionally 2/3 of the time you are going to get a damage. The other dice you're going to succeed 5/6 of the time, and those odds do make a big difference over the course of a game. Though obviously you can go on hot streaks, odds are what they are, but I'm basically going to try to win the next 3 rolls, and all 3 of these are equally important in their own way. But I just think right now, the way this board's setting up, I need to start getting lucky even now. So we're going to go to, again, left to right. We're not resolving any threats. We're not doing a hunt action. So we're going to do 3 build actions in a row, and I'll just do them left to right just for simplicity. So I'm going to try to build the cross. I'm going to try to build the cross where my campsite currently is located. I succeed, and I take a damage. Yikes. So these 2 wood are gone. I've managed to build my first cross, 4 to go, and we're good. Come back to Papa. I'm going to try to build the sacred bell to get rid of those fog tokens. I succeed, but I take a damage. Since I take a damage, my morale goes down, which is not ideal. But that comes down. I get to remove these 2 tokens from the board. Just trying to stay out ahead of the fog. And now I'm building with Friday. He's trying to build the pot. He succeeds and he takes a damage. That was eerily consistent. Now Friday, only having 2 health left, he could die in any one roll. So I had to be very careful with him from now on. But the pot is built. I'll put it up in the future resources space, and he will go back to his card with his 2 health remaining. All right, so that was the action phase. I am going to now move the weather phase. There's nothing happening. A night phase, beginning of the night phase, I'm going to move to an adjacent tile. I am going to yeah, I need the wood. So I'm going to move to adjacent tile. I am going to take a damage. I'm going to eat. Well, this comes down here. I built the pot. I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to take a damage because I do not have shelter. Since I have the pot, I'm going to discard herbs and build the vegetable to increase my morale. I'm not going to use the vegetables yet because I don't want to get +2 health, jump over that morale jump again, and then go back down below it. So I will hold off on that for a little bit. But but seriously, yikes. All right, we're gonna go to round 4. Already round 4. Round 4, we built 1 cross. I don't have a shelter yet, and I don't have my I don't have my any roof. So this could get ugly quick. We're gonna pull this card. It is in the night a hurricane visited the island. It is a brown circle, so we're gonna put this on the adventure roll. Put all the items in the future resources space. They are not available this round. Place them back on the board after the action round. All items in the future resources space. They're not available this round. So basically, my pot and my rope are in the future resources space. Whatever. I'm not going to move them. I just know I can't use them. So this is going to come down here. It's going to shift Winter Depression over. Heavy cloud comes off the board. It says I get to put this back in the weather space, which is fine. I have my large leaves to help take care of those. Yikes. I need some furs. Yeah, I need to get lucky. Alright, let me put these up here before I forget. I got enough things to keep track of. So these are now future resources as per the event card. And what I want to do. Morale phase, morale's at dead 0. Production phase, I'm going to get a wood and a food. Alright, I need to get lucky. So we're going to explore this dark temple, and hopefully it doesn't become the altar of death. But yeah, we need to explore that. And then I'm going to I want to build I'm going to man, Fridays is one away from death. Really bad. Alright, I'm gonna Friday explore here. Friday explore here. It doesn't die, and then we're gonna build a cross in the hills. Nope. Build a cross here. So left to right, we are not taking care of any event cards. We are not doing a hunt action. We are doing a build action. I am going to roll as the explorer. So I fail, I take a damage. I get 2 discovery tokens as I failed. And I was going to have to resolve that anyway. So since I failed, these 2 would just go into the future resources pile. This comes here, and let's see what this says. Discard 3 invention cards. I mean, whatever. I wasn't building any of these anyway. Fine. Those are discarded. Next step, we are going to do a explore We'll do the Explorer Friday. Hope he doesn't die. Friday takes the damage because you don't pull adventure cards with Friday. But he's still alive. And he succeeded. So let's see what he pulled. We get a river. So the third totem pole hits the board. So we're going to put a 3 on that. And what happens when that happens? Well, we go to our little chart on the scenario chart. Cultist hideout, put a fog marker on each tile. Each such tile. Bing. So that already comes out with fog. Now it does have access to a wood. It has access to a perishable food. And we get the 1 discovery token, which is Palisade +1, which would be amazing if I ever actually got around to building a shelter. And none of these have a natural shelter. Which is kind of what I'm looking for right now, I think. Alright, that's fine. We are going to now do the auto succeed with the dog, and we're going to have to get really lucky here. So now, this is the creature and treasure deck. So when you explore the Dark Temple, you're allowed to resolve 4 mystery cards. So I'm basically going to keep drawing, and I can resolve. If I draw a trap card, I just ignore it. If I draw a creature card or a treasure card, I have to resolve it. And if whatever it is, I can choose to keep going. And not all the treasure cards are really good. Some are really awful. Most are good. But some of the creature cards can really do a number on me right here. So let's see what I pulled. First one is a trap card, so I can ignore that card. Second card is a treasure. So you have found a rusty and damaged but still usable conquistador helmet. Keep this card. Starting next round, each time a player fights a beast, they can ignore 1 damage. Not really that helpful for me, but is what it is. I'll put that there. I'm going to keep going because I want more helpful cards. Old clothes. Alright, this is good. A little smelly, but they still work. Keep the scarf from now on. I can treat a snow cloud as if it were 1 snow cloud as if it were 1 rain cloud. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. I can only get 1 more treasure. Chances are I'm not gonna push my luck anymore. Not everything I was hoping for, but it will do the trick. Could help save me some wood, which could make a big difference in my ability to win this scenario. So that is fine. Alright. We are going to go to the end of the action phase now. And I'm going to, so I'll show, I just have the helmet here. It's really not going to make a difference, but I can take my items back. Alright, now we are going to go to the weather phase. I'm going to discard the large leaves to ignore that rain cloud, which is great. This comes off the board. I will now go to the night phase and I will eat. I still don't have shelter, so I will take a damage. Since I have the pot constructed, I will now eat my vegetables and I will go up 2 health there. Keep the camp. Oh man, I'll keep the camp where it is. So I'm gonna need that wood. We now go to the event phase. I pull flood. So we put the green adventure token on. Turn 1 item face up to the invention side. I will put the pot face up because who cares? Alright, or -1. Alright, I'll take -1. So it's 1 item face up, or -1 weapon level, or -1 palisade, or get a damage. I'll just lose the 1 level, and then I'll use my other charge for the empty bottle to get back up to level 1. This comes down here, that moves over, this comes off. I have to discard 1 determination token, which is fine. So we're on round 5, by the way. Morale phase, nothing. We're going to do the production phase. I get a wood and a food. Oh, action phase. Alright, we're going to spend Friday exploring. And I have to start. I'm really hoping just to find a natural shelter at this point. I don't really know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard these two and do recognizance. Give me a natural shelter. One, so I get to look at the top three. Natural shelter with a wood. Perfect. That's a natural shelter with a food, but the wood's gonna be more important. And I could always just try to gather food. So I'm gonna take that, put that on top, and we're gonna put that there. So that's my special ability. And now I need to start building these things. I'm going to build here, and I'm going to spend 2. I'm going to guarantee a shoot. I can't put Friday on that because Friday there, that would make him take a damage, which would kill him. So I'm going to make Friday a support pawn for this build action, which is fine. So we are going to build. Again, go to the events. We planned everything out. We're not resolving any threats. We're not hunting. We are building. I have 2 pawns there, so we are going to succeed. These 2 would go away, and we built our second cross on this spot right there. We're going to go to the explore action. I am auto succeeding because the dog is the support pawn. I do have to pull a card, and I will put my natural shelter on the board as planned. I get 1 determination token. Does not have a totem. I did not want to deal with more fog there. And what do we get? Candles. That could be really helpful. And the shrine. Down in the valley, you spot a shrine. I can discard, or draw 1 mystery card and resolve a treasure. Shuffle this card into the event deck. Sure, I will resolve a treasure, and hopefully it is not the cursed bowl. So that's a trap. I can ignore that. It's another trap card. That is a creature card. I can ignore that. I'm only resolving treasures. Trap. Creature. Gold. Man, this game trolls you so hard. Gold. You spot an unobtrusive chest hidden in the shadows. You come closer and open it. It's full of gold coins. Unfortunately, gold is of no use on the island. I have some choice words going through my head right now. But, you know, we'll just leave it at that. That's so gross. Fine. So I resolved that stupid treasure. I got my candles. And we'll put this back up here. And we will shuffle this. Since I took that gold, I will shuffle this into the event card. Event deck. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just randomly tossing that around. I'm going to stop and then count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Yes, I know. Both the colors are on top. Hey, it is what it is. Why I always count to 5 every time. So, that's the end of my events, or my actions. I'm going to take the candles. They come down. We go to weather phase. There is no weather in round 5. We are going to, I want to make sure I'm on the right round. This should be, yeah, 6 more cards is right. We are going to go to, I am going to move to the natural shelter for a few reasons. So I am there. Now I'm going to eat. Because I have natural shelter, I do not take a damage. Because clearly I could not keep doing that every round. And maybe now I can get lucky and get... Oh man, I really needed like furs. Which is one of the reasons I would consider hunting. Oh, speaking of that, there should be another card in the hunting deck because of that symbol there. Shoot. All right, enemy phase. No, I'm like playing Arkham. No enemy phase. All right, so we're done with night phase. We're gonna go to round 6. We're gonna put the white die in the weather space, and we're gonna draw the top event card. It is shoot. We're putting the... Oh, this is bad. Oh, it's really bad. Alright, so we already have a snow cloud going in. Now remember, my old clothes, I can turn one snow cloud into a rain cloud. But remember, every rain cloud, for every roof level I'm missing, I'm going to have to... Oh, man. I'm going to have to discard stuff, and I have no resources. I think I'm not going to survive this one. Alright. This comes down. This moves over. If possible, discard one item and cancel the effect. I will discard the pot. I guess it gets discarded. That works. So there was no effect on that I'm canceling. It is losing the opportunity to eat extra food, but I will not have extra food after this garbage that's about to be unleashed on me. Shoot. This goes in the gray space, which kind of makes this even worse. Alright. Enemy phase. Oh, man. Or morale phase, nothing. Production phase, I just get the wood. Oh, man. This is going to be bad. Alright. Action phase. I'm going to plan with Friday. Put him there. I'm going to gather. Try to get some food from here. And I'm going to gather. Try to get some more wood from here. And hope I get some nourishing larvae from this explorer. So I'm not resolving any threats. I am going to discard thorny bushes before I forget to move the palisade up 1. Because I'm going to need that for the next event phase. I'm not building anything this turn, so the candles are just going to chill. Alright, so I'm gathering. I'm going to do the gather wood first. I succeed. Now, I did not roll the question mark, but because the question mark was on top of the deck, I need to resolve an adventure card anyway. But I will bring this pawn back and put a wood in the future resources space because it was a successful gather. Eesh. Mushrooms. You have found some mushrooms on your way back to camp. Discard, or get 1 food per player and shuffle it into the event deck. I have to risk it. The result is potentially taking a damage later, but I really am going to need that food because I don't like the looks of this incoming weather right now. So again, I'm putting everything in here. I'm going to count off 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yep, got lucky again. It happens. I need all luck I can get. We're gathering the food. Success, and I pull another adventure card. So he comes back. We get now. I didn't have to pull the adventure card that time because the adventure card thing was already off of there. But since I rolled a question mark this time, I have to resolve it. After the hurricane, the area is devastated and the trees are demolished. Get 2 wood. Oh, that's lucky. And put the -1 space on the tile where you were gathering. I was gathering there. This comes back. That tile becomes inaccessible. And that's if I build a cross there and it's inaccessible, that cross doesn't count. So I shouldn't build a cross there. I will build a cross wherever Friday ends up. So the problem is That is my only access to hills, which is where the Sacred Bell is. So I gotta get this thing done quick. I have to hope for a super magical roll in the weather phase too. Alright, so we're gonna set this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, not so lucky. I'm resolving 2 cards in a row. That's gonna be bad. Alright, so we're now resolving the the Explorer action with Friday and the dog. We pull this over. It's grasslands. We add another beast to the beast deck. And we are going to draw 3 tiles. 1, I can make medicine. 2 is I can build medicine for free. This has been all really helpful earlier, kids. And 3, I can get a goat to give me another banana and a fur, all of which would have been much more helpful earlier. Oh, that's so much trouble. All right. So that's the end of the actions. This is all going to come down, and I am going to use my level 1 weapon to slaughter this goat and get a fur and another food. The weather phase, moment of truth. I rolled. Could have been worse. All right, so old clothes makes one of this a rain cloud. So I have basically a snow cloud and 2 rain clouds. I have a level 0 roof, which is a problem. The snow cloud, I'm going to eat. I have to burn up one of these to make it warmer because the snow is cold. With my 2 rain clouds, I'm going to have to actually eat 2 bananas and take 2 wood away. And then we go to the night phase. So we still got a puncher's chance. Don't love it. And then we go to the night phase. I eat and I have natural shelter. So I am good there. We're going to go to the next round, which is round 7. All right. We're going to pull this off. And then because I have medicine like 3 times. Let me do this now. I'll actually just discard this. I'll make the medicine, which I could have done during the night phase and clearly had no reason not to. So that's fine. Cool. You don't have medicine. The character with this arm gets 2 wounds. I have medicine, so I can discard this. And that's cool. So that gets discarded. I now draw this. The tile with with this token, the extra worker token, becomes inaccessible. Turn it face down and discard all tokens and markers. All right. That's fine. Still could have been worse. We have quite the collection of cards at the top of this board. All right, and now at the normal event card, we put the green in the green adventure token on the green deck. Predators in the woods. Going inside the camp is getting more and more dangerous every day. Put the +1 beast token in the event explore action space. During the explore, you get a damage unless your weapon level is at least 1. So this comes down here. That moves over. Ugh, that's really bad. All right, let's take care of that. Shoot. All right, this comes over. I lose a palisade level, which is fine because that's why I built it. All right. We now go to morale phase. We're fine. We're going to production phase. I'm going to get a wood. And then we go to the action phase. All right. I need to do a lot of things, and I need to get lucky. So the gather dice are actually the most friendly of the dice. So half the time I'm going to roll a question mark. 1/6 of the time I'm going to roll a damage, and 5/6 of the time I'm going to roll a success. So I'm going to risk it with Friday because I'm getting desperate, and I'm going to hope that he can gather without dying. I need to build another cross soon. The only reason I still have a chance, I've gotten very lucky with the fact that I've only pulled. I've pulled all five. Wow, I pulled all five of my event cards that had the adventure circles. So now in the future, I'm basically putting fog on 2 tiles every turn. So my window to win this is next to 0 right now. All right, so that's that. Now I am going to turn the candles in to get a extra build worker, build pawn, and I want to build not only across, I also want to build my roof level this turn. So I'm going to, what's more important? Oh, I also want to do that. Shoot. I'm just gonna have to get lucky with roof level here. All right, we're gonna do this and this, and we're gonna build across there. And I'll build across here. And we'll build a roof level here. It's not ideal. I'll have to deal with that next turn, but it is what it is. Ah! So my problem is, if I don't resolve this card, next turn, I'm putting a snow cloud in the weather space. But if I don't have to get food, I'm doing 2 damage. I mean, as it is, oh man, I'm in so much trouble. Let me try this. Well, let's try to do the build action. We're gonna do that. So let's go in order. So left to right. I am resolving the Predator in the Woods card. So I'm doing searching for a predator. I'm going to use a pawn. I have a weapon level 1. I get 1 determination token, and I get to discard this card that was on top of the exploration deck. And who cares? But at least it's going to prevent that card from advancing next turn, which again, we'll see. I think I'm going to die anyway, but that's fine. We're going to do a build action. Friday builds automatically. We put the candles pawn back. Friday's going to go back here. Then we're going to build our 3rd cross here. It's fine. Now we're going to try to build that roof. And we succeed. So the roof level goes up 1. We take a damage. And we draw a card. If possible, put 2 black markers on 2 items. We're going to put a black marker on the rope, a black marker on the medicine. Now they're still functional, but if this card comes back up, those black items, those black disc marked items will be destroyed. So we're going to shuffle this into the event deck along with the rest of the garbage that is in there. Alright, so kind of the moment of truth here. I mean, my old clothes are only get me so far. I mean, I really need a 1 snow cloud roll again. Or we're toast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we roll. Oh, that's all she wrote. Alright, so I basically have 2 clouds, 1 snow. So what I need to do is so one of the snow clouds is now a rain cloud. So I'm only discarding one wood because of the other snow cloud. My clouds are, I have two clouds. I have a roof of level 1, so I need to discard a wood and a food. I cannot. So I am missing both of those, and then I need to discard um, a food. I need to eat a food at night. Because now in the night phase, I cannot eat, so I get 2 damage for that. So that's 1, and then 2, I am dead. Um, Man, I'll tell you what, I I'm not opposed to hard games. I mean, I love Arkham, and that game will destroy me, um, in some really epic ways. But this game is so punishing, and I like it. It will never make it into um, the way I hold Arkham in such esteem. I hold Mage Knight in such esteem. Spirit Island, you know. Um, this game, I don't really feel like it even rewards expertise. Not that I'm an expert in any of these games, right? I'm good. I've played a lot. Um, but the luck factor, I mean, the things that you need to have go your way, some of the cards that you really need. And it might just be maybe it's a game that's not really designed for solo. It wasn't really balanced for solo. I've played a few 2, 3 player games and I enjoy it. But it's such a punishing game. Um, and I think of the level, it's cranked up just a little bit too high. And I do think that fast forward, I won't be surprised. Fast forward a few years, I won't be surprised if, this war of mine, despite the heaviness of the subject matter, if it doesn't really just begin to dominate. If I want to scratch that itch that both this war of mine and Robinson Crusoe scratch, I feel like this war of mine is going to become my go-to. And because the mechanics are so similar, and this war of mine is, I think, just a fairer game if you can, stomach the subject matter that is presenting to you. So this is what it is. I'm glad. I think this is probably a much better playthrough to put out than the Cook. That was a pretty epic destruction, if my recollection is correct. Not sure what I would have done differently. Kind of always felt like I was looking for something to really help turn the tide, and I didn't roll especially bad, although I did roll a lot of damage. So that just adds up after a while. Um, the tokens were good, not great. Sitting there with 2 tokens that we never used. I don't love the tokens that are really dependent on the pot, because it's just another build action that you're doing that can be bad. I mean, if I had one more life, like I survived to the next round, but then realistically, those snow clouds really eat into your wood production. That how do you get the wood to combat the snow cloud, but also, I mean, the old clothes are huge because now if I roll that every turn, but the old clothes, well now I'm good. I have a roof level 1, right? Because I can turn that into a thing. But yeah. I mean, I guess I'm really, 1/3 of this die is what kills me this turn, and then the rest I just gotta hope I get super lucky with that die. But I'm gonna start getting fog markers around here. That would have been that bad, but it would have taken me several turns to get the wood necessary to build those last 2 crosses, and you do have to survive. Building the 5th cross is great. Now survive to the end of that round before you're even allowed to consider it a win. So look, this game can be pretty bonkers. If you like just getting your head kicked in, by all means. And I'll play a few more times. I'll probably get every scenario on here at least once in the upcoming months, and just kind of as a change of pace every 2 or 3 months, I'll put an episode up. But look for something else next time, and then maybe in the future, if I ever get the first Martians, and we can have some fun about the flaws with that game. But honestly, I picked it up for $15, and it seemed like too good of a deal to pass up from the reviews that I've read, and the things I know about it. But that's that. another day of evening of humbling at the hands of Robinson Crusoe. I will probably go read some. I got that Arkham Investigators uh, coffee table book. I'll probably go read some of that, and you know, like somehow that will put me in a better place before I drift off to sleep. But hope everyone enjoyed this playthrough. Happy if I'm missing something about this game, please, if anything, engage with me in the comments. Please tell me what you're, what about this game, is going to keep me bringing it back to the table over the next few months and years, because I have a feeling I'm going to have it on the sell pile pretty soon. As much as I find it fun, it's just so punishing. It's so hard. It's in a way that's not even rewarding when you win. You're just like, oh, finally, once, and move on. But that's about it. So yeah, I really again hope everyone enjoyed the playthrough. Thanks for joining me as always. Comments, questions, epiphanies, put in the section below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, happy gaming. Thanks for joining.